We've been, uncovering a lot of these and having discussions on them all week. I'm going to continue to do that, and the week's ramping up until training camp and, of course, the start of the regular season. So Ryan's going to go first, and then he's going to give his pick, going to give you the supportive reasons behind it when he is done. He's going to give the little phrase that pays, if you will, to cue the sounder. Brandon, working the board here on BetMGM tonight, is going to drop that sounder. It'll play, then I'm going to take it from there and do the same thing. And we'll go back and forth and work in as many futures wagers in the National Football League as possible. So, Ryan, go ahead and kick things off. What's your first NFL exotic?
All right, so last night gave out 3 rookie props, season-long props that I really like. We need to roll out all the props, though, man. Like, I don't ask for much. Can we get Nico Collins receiving yard props, though? So what I did today is I bet 4 more win totals. I'll give out 3 of them right now, save 1 for next week. I'm going to go with the Jets, Brad, under 5.5 wins, plus 135. I'm about to toss that stupid lamp out of my living room after the way that they treated my boy, Aaron Rodgers. So here's my take on the Jets. I've been going back and forth. I do think that they could be a sneaky ATS team because they're going to be a run-first offense. You would expect at least some of the guys on the defensive side of the ball, mainly Sauce Gardner, to bounce back. But they won 5 games in 2024 with Aaron Rodgers. Their win total is 5.5 with Justin Fields. Say what you want about Justin Fields, the fantasy quarterback. I think we have a big enough sample size of Justin Fields, the NFL quarterback, to know that unless he's in Pittsburgh, he's not winning you 6 games, in my opinion. Breece Hall doesn't even want to be there. I like Braylon Allen and all, but the Jets will ruin him. They ruin everything. Is Garrett Wilson going to be happy week 6, or is he going to be the guy on the sideline asking for more targets, bitching at whoever the quarterback is by then? I'm going to go with the latter. Did the defense finally learn how to stop the run? Is Sauce Gardner going to remember how to cover? And when it is time to make a tackle, is he going to get dragged for 15 yards again? And also, I know it's not the toughest schedule, but what their draft told me, Brad, and their offseason is that they want to land quarterback number 1, whether that's Arch Manning, Garrett Nussmeier, Lenora Sellers. Because look at this draft, right? Like, you go offensive lineman, and then your offseason is re-signing Justin Fields, Sherwood. Brandon Stevens is probably your biggest pickup, a defensive back for 3 years and $36 million. I think they're playing for the future here. Jets under 5.5 wins, plus 135. Plus the entire coaching staff might be some idiots. Brando, give me a handoff. Boy, that treated my guy.
And Manning's going to heave one. There's a flag. Beckham, a one-handed catch. How in the world?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, you got to love the one-handed grabs. Those have been highlights and memorable ones, to say the least. And this is a memorable bet that may cash by midseason. I can't believe the number is this low, and I can't believe it's a plus money on the over. And yet, I keep saying this guy's name on repeat because the markets have been way too soft on him. Ashton Genty. You might have heard of him.
Yes.
Pint-sized bruiser, a punisher on the ground, guy at 5'8", 220 pounds. He is going to be a wrecking ball in the silver and black. Give me the over. 7.5 rush touchdowns, even money, plus 100 there at BetMGM. And I can't believe this bet is there. I've actually already wagered in the alt market on Genty for her 10 or more touchdowns at 3-1 odds. So this seems like low-hanging fruit. I'm going to double down as a result. Genty is going to be the bee's knees in year number 1. I know Vegas is only number 20 in run blocking efficiency, and according to PFF last year, they made some improvements there. Plus, they have Geno Smith, and that's going to give a lot more balance to this offense compared to what Aiden O'Connell had and Gardner Minshew a season ago. Genty, and we already know this, he didn't play at the Lake Superior State. He didn't play at Bethune-Cookman, right? He didn't play at some small dinky college, the Sisters of the Motherless Poor University. He played at Boise State. Put some damn respect on the Mountain West Conference. And when he played against formidable competition, he was still putting up video game numbers. He finished number 1 in total yak. He finished number 1 among all FBS running backs and missed tackles force. He finished number 1 in breakaway runs. Those are 15 or more yards. According to PFF, that was 36 in total. 75.9% of his stinking yards he gained after initial contact. Mike Clay's got a projected for only 7 touchdowns, but Clay also is weighing in. He's going to miss a couple of games. I say he scores at least 8. I think he's going to score 10 or more. I think he's going to be easily a top 5 running back in fantasy football this year because he's going to catch probably 40, 50 balls as well. Ashton Jitty, be a juggernaut. I'm taking the over 7.5 rushing touchdowns at plus 100, Brandon. Hike!
You show me the kind of smarts makes me wonder if you know the difference between a sneeze and a wet fart. You're going to be second string all your life, boy.
Now, like, I know you got to tie up your money for multiple months and whatnot. There are ways around that, of course, But if you're following along with the win totals, man, I've been on a tear the last 3 years. But every year, so, like, I like to find these teams that nobody's buying in on. Not to toot my own horn, but beep, beep. That's what we do in this biz anyway. So, like, last year I liked the Vikings, Eagles, Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. But every year I pick one that I just want to see happen. Last year was Seahawks win total, which came home, but I also bet them to win the division because I faded the Niners, and that did obviously not come home. This year I got a new team where I'm not advising anybody else to take this bet with me or anything like that, but I'm going to bet them. And every Monday or Tuesday, if they play Monday Night Football, we haven't seen the schedule yet, I want to do a watch of this team. And that's the Las Vegas Raiders over 7.5 wins. Plus 125. You could also bet 6.5 minus 150. But nah, Pete Carroll did not leave the golf course to win 7 games. Maybe 8 games, but not 7 games. So Raiders over 7.5 wins, plus 125. Geno is an obvious upgrade over anything that they've had there in decades, whether it's Los Angeles, Vegas, wherever they've been. Unless Tom Brady is leaving the board meetings to put on pads, the best quarterback in that building in probably 2 decades. When Geno's kept clean, he can make every single throw. When he's under pressure, he looks like Zach Wilson. So how do you fix that if you don't have the best offensive line? Build a run game. You just got done talking about Ashton Jitty. I think he's going to be a stud year 1. Brock Bowers was a stud year 1. Now he's in year 2. He might be the best tight end in the league. The wide receiver room's decent. Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers. I like what they did in the draft. Defensive side of the ball, Max Crosby, really nice player. Top 3 edge rusher in the league. There's some talent. They did some stuff in free agency. My issue is Eric Stokes shouldn't be starting in the secondary at Mount Carmel, let alone in a division where you're going to see Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Sean Payton and Bo Nix twice a year. And it's the 18th toughest schedule. But, again, I'm going to cheer for this team. They're going to be fun as hell. They're going to score a bunch of points. They're going to give up some points. But give me the Raiders. Over 7.5 wins, plus 125. Brando, hit me with the handoff, the double wing offense.
The left. Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal.
That's a sign not to take a Pete Carroll bet.
Yeah, no question about it. Another fantastic historic call there. All right, for the love of Gad. Again, we had a Pope from Chicago, the first American Pope. Now in that position, Pope Leo the 14th. It's a sign. It's a sign. Caleb Williams over 22.5 passing touchdowns at a minus 110 juice. Now, Annie Agar, my good buddy and my former colleague, got a couple of stops. She had a great burn on Twitter today saying that the city of Chicago produced the Pope before the Bears ever produced a quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards. Now, I think, and you and I would agree, the sicker burn would have been, instead of 4,000 passing yards in a single season, she would have said, produced a 30 passing touchdown quarterback, because that's never happened either. Yeah. Horvath, quick trivia question. Do you know who the Bears' single-season TD record holder is in passing strikes?
Oh, man. Is it – Jesus Lord. I don't even know. Jay Cutler?
No, Eric Kramer.
Oh, Kramer. Okay, number 8.
Yeah, Kramer had 28 passing touchdowns. I think it was like 1998. It sounds about right. He used 27-28. He is the record holder for the franchise. So they've never had a 30-touchdown passer in history. I think Caleb Williams is going to flirt with that number. I'm way over on 22.5 passing touchdowns at a minus 110 as a result. I think at a minimum he's going to chuck 25. The Bears defense is excellent, so that's not going to really increase the opportunities. But look at the assets around him. He had Colston Loveland to go along with Cole Kmet, that 2 tight ends that they have. DJ Moore. You got Luther Burden, who's a guy that's maybe a poor man's or very poor man's Amon-Ra St. Brown, Roma Dunze. Like, he's got weapons around him, and he's going to be highly productive. I got a Ben Johnson there, and a very competent play caller is going to design some action, get the ball quicker out of his hands. He is going to thrive. He is going to flourish. Taking the over, Caleb Williams, 2 for the Pope on 22.5 passing touchdowns at a -110.